Hello everyone, good morning and happy Tuesday. Welcome to Tea Time with Taylor. I am super excited to be with you guys today. Maybe you caught me yesterday. If you're part of our virtual Stamp Joy event, I was live yesterday to talk through the supply list that we provided for you. Super excited to kind of kick off the planning for virtual Stamp Joy. I know all of you are excited to kind of start hearing the details as we get those out there. So if you are part of our virtual Stamp Joy event, you know that today is a big day. We have a lot going on around Tailored Expressions, even if you're not part of our virtual Stamp Joy event. So first though, I wanted to talk about one of the things that we do have for our virtual Stamp Joy attendees. Today started your site-wide discount. So you should have received that discount code in your email, or you can go to the Virtual Stamp Joy Facebook page and it is there as well. We won't be sharing that publicly here as it's only available to those of you that are part of the event, but you can use that discount code site-wide to purchase any supplies you might want to grab for the event or just things you've had your eye on. So you do need to be logged in. That is one of the big things I wanted to mention because it is only available to our Virtual Stamp Joy attendees. Make sure you're logged into the account that you used in order to register yourself for the event, and you should be able to use that discount. If you're having any trouble with anything, you can contact support at tailoredexpressions.com and they will help you out. If you're looking for all of the supplies that we'll be using, we did create a special category for you. So when you log in, click on Shop, and all the way at the bottom, you will find a Virtual Stamp Joy supply category. So that will only be viewable to those of you that are part of the event once you are logged in. Okay, I think I made it through all of the details for Virtual Stamp Joy. I've got Whitney here today, and we're going to talk about some other fun things, but I want to make sure I say hi to a few people as we get started. So let me get my comments up here. And I was going to say put my eyeglasses on, but I haven't caved in yet, so I'm just going to get a little closer to the screen so that I can see everybody's comments today. Hello, Betty. You already shopped today. Hi, April. You got your goodies. Good. Susan's here this morning. Hi, Susan, watching from home. We have Paget here and Lee. Sally's here. Good morning. Hi, Lisa and Susan in chilly Minnesota. Whitney, did you notice that the temperature went down quite a bit?
Did I notice?
I know.
I'm freezing.
Whitney's wearing 2 parkas today. It did. It's chilly here in Iowa too, and we were kind of on a warm spell for a while there, and now it is frozen tundra again. I think John said this morning when he took the kids to school it was 10 degrees. So that's chilly. We've got Terry here today. She put stuff in her cart, maybe waiting to hear about the new items that we're releasing today as well. So let's start chatting. We are dropping a new color today. So this might not be brand new to those of you who purchased and went through our Advent calendar with us in December. It was included in the Advent calendar as a mini ink cube and some sample paper. And now you have the opportunity to buy the other items in the color collection. We have the envelopes and ink refill and full-size ink pad and stickers and a small stamp for you to do all of your color swatching. So all of those things are now available. The color is called Gumdrop. We're saying goody goody Gumdrop has released, so we're excited about that. Before I get to showing you the new color, this is the first time I've seen you guys in February, so we get to do some fun things today. I'm going to talk about our freebie. Whitney, we forgot about the every order freebie. Can you gather this stuff so I can do my stickering?
Our favorite part?
I know. My favorite part of turning over to a new month is introducing our new freebies. So since this is the first time I've seen you guys so far, I am going to chat with you first about our not our every order freebie, but our freebie that you get when you purchase $100 or more. This one is called Pedal Pusher, and it is a die set. This is all connected together as one die. However, you'll see that the petals and the leaves and the flower center are all separate die cut pieces. There are so many fun ways you can break this apart, put it back together again, use the outer edge as a template, a guide to creating your scene just like you see it here. It is designed to fit perfectly on an A2 layer. So you can see some samples here. This is one that I created. And we're going to have some more information on this particular sample when Susan goes live in a few weeks. She's got some more projects that she'll share with you using this die set. It's really so versatile and fun. But I wanted to show you guys this one in particular because I used our new color here down in the leafy part. And then Jill Hawkins did her thing with this die set, and I love what she came up with as well. She's got beautifully blended from a light to a dark pink on these flower petals. She put stitching in the centers of her leafy portions, which of course Jill is known for her beautiful stitching. And then I love her white on white on white detail that she has on the 3 layers on the front of the card. Then she also took our glitter cardstock and built this. You can actually blend on top of our glitter cardstock, which is how she got this 2-toned yellowish orange flower, and pretty, really pretty and poppy on this dark navy background. I love how it makes the flower just pop off of the card. Love that.
This freebie is just gorgeous.
I know, so pretty. So while it's cold outside, we can all be dreaming about beautiful flowers and
Thank goodness.
putting them on our cards.
Yes.
All right, so the other fun part of the turn to a new month is we get to share our Year in Bloom collection stamp with you. So this is our every order freebie. I know we have a lot of new people joining Tailored Expressions lately because I've seen questions about how do I earn this freebie? How do I get it? Well, the only thing you have to do is place an order. It comes free with every order that you place, and you will receive the stamp and also a sticker. Your sticker is designed to place on the front of your collection card panel that can be purchased separately from the store. And then this piece gets pulled off of the back, and then it sticks to the back of your panel. So I know some people who are newer here at TE have been thinking that the sticker is designed to stick onto the back of your stamp, and that is not the case. The sticker goes inside of your oval on the front, and then this part of your stamp goes on the back. So let me show you up close what this one looks like. We have February is a violet. So such a cute little flower stamp. I've loved seeing what you guys have done with the January stamp, the Snowdrop. If you did not get a chance to place an order and get the January stamp for free, we do have it available for purchase at the store now. And you can also get the coordinating dies with each of these. They launch on the 1st of every month as well. They are a purchasable item. The stamps are still very useful if you don't have the dies, but they are available for purchase for those of you that want more versatility for building scenes and such. So let me grab, I'm going to see if I can get my nails to pick this sticker backing off without too much trouble this morning. When they start to get long, it gets a little bit harder, but all right, so I get to do my very favorite thing and place our sticker on our collection card. There we go. We've got 2 months, only 10 more to go, and we'll have this complete. Love it. All right, glad you guys are loving the February stamp and free gift too. So let's get into our new release. As I mentioned, we have a new color that's dropping today. This was featured in our advent calendar, so you might have gotten the mini ink cube or some sample paper if you were part of our advent calendar. We do have an I Want It All Gumdrop bundle that you can purchase. Less than $30 gets you a package of cardstock, coordinating envelopes, a mini ink cube, a full-size pad, and a refill. So if you want to grab that, that is a great option. Let me show you now some of the things we've got here. In person, we have a pack of the cardstock. Here's the envelopes. They are a triangle flap on the back, I always like to point that out because some of our envelopes are a square flap while others are triangle. So just pay attention to the web image on the website when you're ordering if you're wanting to know whether it's square or triangle flap. And then we have our Gumdrop full-size ink pad, mini ink cube, and refill. In addition to the I Want It All bundle, you can also purchase these items separately, so you can check those all out in the new Gumdrop category. One thing that is not part of the bundle that you may want to add to your purchase, since we're only launching one color for this release, we ended up doing a small sticker sheet and stamp combined. So you will get 4 different ink pad label stickers that you can place on the sides of your ink pads. We included 4 of them because I know a lot of people also like to use them to categorize their cardstock or their scraps. And then we have these tiny little stamps that you can add to your stamp collection that allows you to stamp the name of the color if you're making color swatches. So there's that little option, and this will remain available for a while until we release new colors and maybe add it in with those. So grab that if you want to. Now I want to show you how Gumdrop compares to some other colors in our collection. A lot of times it helps to see what I would consider a kind of a light, a mid-tone, and a dark of the same color. So I would consider these all to be in the same color family. Gumdrop is in the middle here, so it's a mid-tone color. Poblano Pepper is here on the right, and it would be the dark of this color family. And then the light is Spearmint. So this is kind of a sage, dusty, I would say, a dusty sage mid-tone color is how I would describe the Gumdrop. Now I'm going to bring in this color. This is Rock Candy. You can see that it is a lot more intense, more blue, while this one is more green over here, more blue over here. They're both a tealish, greenish blue color, I would say. This one just leans more sage, more green, and this one leans more blue, which would be more teal. So there's a difference in color for you there as you look at Rock Candy versus Gumdrop. How does that look to everybody? Any questions that I've missed, Whitney?
Not so far. It says, what about the True Colors large set of labels? Did we add Gumdrop on there?
I believe we did.
We did.
I believe the Gumdrop label is on the large set, but for those who didn't need to purchase the whole set of ink labels, we wanted to give you the option to just get the Gumdrop labels if you would like. So, all right, I'm going to take these away from the screen then, and we're going to talk about the project that we're creating today. And, oh, actually, no, not quite yet. I have inspiration. I know. The design team always knocks it out of the park. This is one of my favorite times when we do new colors because the design team has the ability to use anything in the Tailored Expressions collection as long as they're featuring the new color. So this is a great opportunity to see lots of color inspiration and see it with some products that you might already have in your collection. So this is hilarious. This is Jill Hawkins. I love it. She says, nope, ain't nobody got time for that. I think that's funny and something I can see sending to maybe as a get well card. Wouldn't this be a funny get well card? Like, I didn't have time to get sick, but hope you get well soon. People have been super sick around here. I think we've had almost half of our office out one of the days last week.
Yes.
So we have been under it, and I hope all of you are staying healthy too. But here you are. That's a cute one from Jill. You can spell out anything you want with our stitched alphabet letters, so that's really fun. Paula asked, did we find a match for Poblano Pepper? I know it is out of stock, and we will have information on that coming. I know I've been promising that we're working on it, and I'm still keeping that promise. We are working on getting some of our colors back into stock. It's looking like it's gonna work out. And I know waiting is hard. It's hard for me too, but thanks for asking on that. We will be working on that this year. I'm pretty sure we should get it maybe in the first half of the year. So we'll have some announcements on that to come. All right, so this is again from Jill Hawkins. So cute how she used those interactive doors. I think that set is called Another Door Opens, and she's got the cute little pudgy cat over here sitting outside, and little flowers down at the bottom of the doors. A happy new home. I think that's so sweet. And that Gumdrop is the color she used along with rose water, which is a fun combination. All right, next up. I didn't check who made all of these, so you might have to help me, Whitney. Oh, this one is Emily. Emily made a whole set, a whole slew of cards. This one uses our Daisies for Days. We have the dies that she used on this one with the Gumdrop cardstock, and then the Gumdrop ink on the background of the stamp over here. So paired along with pineapple makes for a really fun, bright card. Then she also created a couple cards using another beautiful color combination paired with raspberry sorbet, guava, mulled wine, and pink champagne. And we've got these pretty plants in our Love Grows Here set, which I think is super fun. Let's see if she does have a beautiful color card inside here that shows the blended combo along with the little cardstock swatching that she did with a little circle punch over here in the notes section. So this is another fun thing to add, and what I was mentioning that little stamp is for, if you want to use that little stamp, it would be on your Inkspiration cards so that you can catalog different color combo ideas.
I love those plants. I need to get those out soon. They're so cute.
Rachel asked if we're going to sell a separate color label in the larger shape. Right now we're not. So we just put out that set, and redoing it all to add one label at this time didn't make great sense for us. So stay tuned. As we have more color releases in the future, we can add that bigger label into the set. All right, next up, Lori Craig used the ferns on her card. We've got green tea paired with the Gumdrop, and a pretty background with saltwater taffy down to the darker spearmint. So pretty. Another one that Lori did that I thought was so fun, this one, we've got lemons. You're finding that a few of our designers used yellow in combination with the Gumdrop, and I think it makes for a really bright, summery color combination. Love that. And then this was one of my favorites. Amy Coling created this fun checkerboard pattern using our pierced grid background in order to make sure that all of her little squares were perfectly placed inside of the pierced grid. And I just love this color combination. She's got the card here on the inside, so I'll share that with you guys. I loved the buttercream frosting. I think that was so unexpected. I mean, the whole color combination is kind of unexpected. It's more retro looking, but paired with the buttercream frosting instead of sugar cube really gave it that more aged vintage retro look. So I thought that one was really fun. Okay, then now it's time to start creating. I made a project as well. I'm going to show it to you. It's got several different parts. So I wanted to make a gift for someone. So I took one of our quad stencils called Poster Prints, and I decided instead of making 4 cards with the stencil, I wanted to make a whole gift set. So it all started with this framed piece. I used one of the quadrants to create a fun little frame that you can set up on your desk. And then every card needs, or every gift needs a card. So I created this happy birthday card using one of the quadrants of the stencil. Then we have a gift bag to pack it all in. So I used another quadrant with a just for you sentiment on it, placed it on a pretty gold foiled gift bag. I just picked this one up at Target, and I thought it went great with the color combo that I selected. And then we have a little set of mini cards. So this is also going in the package with the frame as a little gift that the recipient can give to others as they want. All of them say hello, so really useful, but I was able to get 4 little mini cards out of the final quadrant of the stencil. If you're interested in the supplies that I used, we did create featured in Taylor's live project under the Gumdrop new release category. You will find it there. All of the products that I'm using today are in that item, and you can pick and choose which ones you would like to add to your cart. And hopefully that makes your shopping experience easier, specifically for the things that I'm going to be using today. So as I mentioned, the quad stencil that I'm using is called Poster Prints. It creates 4 beautiful floral artwork pieces. They were inspired by posters. So this is a really kind of trendy art look these days. I have several of these type of this style in my house in frames, which is why I thought making a framed art piece made so much sense. So we're going to start with an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock. I have not done this type of blending with you guys using a quad, so I know a lot of people use the full size of the paper, which in some cases does make it easier because you have your little alignment guides on it. So then I wanted to show you, if this is your preferred method, how I would recommend cutting it down after you blend it. So this might be a little different than what you have seen from me before on as far as how I blend the quad stencils. We're going to start with layer 1 and place that over the top of our paper.
I absolutely love this quad. I'm so glad you're using it today because I just,
it's so pretty.
It is.
And I love the versatility that if you don't want to make 4 cards, it works perfectly to make a whole gift set. I don't know, it just struck me as such a fun thing. And now I want to go back to the other quads too and see what else could I make a little gift set out of.
Yes!
Okay, so Spearmint ink is going to be the first color we're laying down on layer 1.
You should gift this set. Oh, do you have someone in mind already?
I do.
Okay. I won't say anything.
I'm sorry, it's not you.
I'll take it for now.
Well, your birthday's coming up in July, so I have some time to make another one. You could even put in like your color request for to match your decor at home if you wanted.
Oh.
So, who would you make this for? You guys out there listening, would you make a little gift set like this? Who would you give it to? Who would appreciate it most? Whitney's usually at the top of my list because you're like my favorite fangirl who's always loves everything that I make. And
I love sending cards. I love writing notes, and I feel like this set has such versatility that it could go for a thinking of you or just a hello or any sentiment. It really fits. But our sister just had her birthday too, so I was thinking about her.
Yes.
So
actually, I should give a happy birthday shout out. It's Jamie's birthday today. I don't know if she's here watching, but
is on today.
Early February is like birthday for friends and family in my life. My sister's birthday is Groundhog's Day, our other sister.
Did we ever find out if the groundhog...
I don't know. Did we? Somebody tell us. Did we find out if the groundhog saw its shadow? And
are we going to be in winter longer?
Somebody posted something funny on the virtual Stamp Joy page. It was a picture of a crafter, and it said something like, she saw her shadow, so there will be 6 more weeks of crafting. And I thought that was great. I guess that's one way to look at, the bright side of having 6 more weeks of winter is we are inside crafting, and that's not a bad thing either, without feeling like we should be gardening or boating or enjoying the pool or whatever.
6 more weeks of winter?
Oh, sorry, kids. That's what they said. Oh, shoot.
Oh, man.
Darn.
I was just telling you the other day, we have a groundhog that's in our backyard, and he's huge.
Yes,
our
you said that.
Feed him apples
Oh.
So this summer we would see him pop out and just waddle around. He is just gigantic. I thought he was a badger. So
like a possum or something.
I was like, there is a badger in your backyard. And they're like, oh, it's a groundhog. I was like, oh, okay, good. Badger, Whitney. You don't know.
A badger. Whitney's alerting her neighborhood group to a badger.
I know.
But it's a groundhog.
Children. Nope.
Keep your little kids inside. There's a badger running loose in the neighborhood.
I know. I felt like so ridiculous. I was like, oh, okay. They're like, yeah, we just feed him apples. He's pretty happy. I'm like, wow.
Well, we found out. It wasn't the news maybe we were hoping for. It makes a lot of sense considering the weather today is freezing.
I know.
All right, so this color that I'm using now to highlight or add dimension to the spearmint is green tea, which is kind of an unexpected addition to this color combination. It is more of a moss green, while the spearmint leans more sage green, but I think it makes a really pretty add-on. So I guess that's maybe one tip that I would give you as you're coming up with blending color combos. Think outside of the box, try some different things that you wouldn't think would go together. And I've been surprised lately by just trying different colors that I wouldn't normally do together.
Yeah, I was surprised when I saw green tea on the list but it does just work seamlessly with this. It's gorgeous.
It's still really soft and not too, doesn't add too much brightness to the leaves. I wanted to keep those really soft and light. Oh, Candy says groundhogs love dandelions.
Okay.
Do you have those in your backyard?
Yes. I'll have the kids make a dandelion salad.
Yes. That'd be cute. Your kids would love that.
I know.
Okay, so that was layer 1. Layer 2. Now, I made sure that I blended all of the squares onto the cardstock. So now when I go to line up this next layer, I should be able to just drop that on top of those squares, align them, shift it around until I get it just right, and then we can go ahead and tack that down again with the teal tape. The two colors on this layer, again, are kind of unexpected together. So our first one is going to be Gumdrop. And because this is a brand new ink pad, I would suggest when you first start working with the color that you get, it's usually very intense. So start off on the solid stencil area and drag that color lightly over the top of the opening so you don't get too much intense color right off of the bat. You can always add more color. You cannot take it away once it's there. So this is our new Gumdrop that you're seeing. Pretty Gumdrop. It was another one of those colors that was kind of hard to name because there really aren't teal foods out there in the world.
We're on a shortage of teal foods.
Right.
I mean, we have no shortage of candy here to choose from, but we haven't really had a teal candy, so.
Jennifer said her birthday's tomorrow. Happy early birthday. Did you treat yourself to some craft supplies today? Okay. It's been a while since I've blended a quad on a live.
Charlie is submitting her idea for a teal color. Moldy yogurt.
Oh. I mean, mold is a lot of times tealish in color, so
oofda.
that might be, yeah, that might be a hard sell for people. Okay, so here's that unexpected addition to this layer. We're going to use sweet basil which is more of an olive green color, and I'm going to concentrate that towards the base of these little tulip flowers and then in the center of these larger flowers. And then I'll hit a little bit on these, but because these openings are so small, I don't want to overwhelm it with this color. Just a little bit of that olive green towards the center and the base of these. We'll add a few little bits in here.
April says moldy yogurt sounds like a color we did a few years back for April Fool's Day.
We did. What did we do? Moldy cheese or moldy? Yeah. We did.
Sardines. Was sardines one?
Sardines was one. Mm-hmm.
Moldy cheese does sound familiar. Kelly wants to know if you have any plans to bring out more quads and triple slims.
Ooh, Kelly, coming your way. We have a couple planned for events in the future here very soon. And if you're not part of those events, then they will be released at a later date. So we do have, I can think of two specifically that we have designed that people have not seen yet. So, all right, that was layer 2. Now we have layer 3. This one, I'm going to do like several of our designers did. I found that yellow was a beautiful combo with this gumdrop. So my yellows that I chose were a little more rustic, not quite as bright as the pineapple. We're going to go with a Dijon to start. And we'll blend that over the whole stencil. Not too dark. Guess who's back this week, Whitney?
Who?
Heather.
Yes!
I know. Heather's going to be doing the live on Thursday. It's been a little while since we've seen her. She had a fun trip to Disney, and not sure she's excited to be back in, reality of cold Minnesota, but we are excited to see her here on Thursday. Tune in for Heather's live.
I wonder what she's going to use.
I know.
I love weeks where we are like, the designers, like you said, are choosing the things that they just love to use and are inspired by.
Yes. Well, I know she'll be using Gumdrop, but beyond that, she's going to do something fun with something already existing in our collection. All right, bringing it up here. And then we'll hit this with a little bit darker color. To give it some dimension. Oh, Debbie, giving me all the topics to talk about today. Debbie asked, is TE going to have a 3 or 6 month combo club this year? Of course, we wouldn't skip Combo Club. You will be getting an email soon with information about what our Combo Club will be featuring this year, and a little bit of a heads up on when the sign up for that will be, along with kind of what pricing is going to look like for those of you that like to plan that out. That email will be coming this week, and you'll get some of those details then. We'll get that started. Our sign up is going to be this month, so it doesn't start until, you won't get your first Combo Club product until April, but we're going to start the sign up in February. So keep an eye out for all those things. Details coming in your inbox sign up coming this month.
Girl, you know I'm there. Combo
I
Club's
know.
my jam. I like to party.
It is. It's kind of like the Advent calendar a little bit, because every month is a special live just for the Combo Club products. So we feature those in a special project live that happens on Fridays. So we get to spend an extra day together every month and create using those goodies. So if you haven't been a part of Combo Club, then keep an eye on your email. We have lots of customers waiting to hear the details of that. It's been a fun thing that we have done for a couple years now. So I don't think I mentioned, but you can see that I am using honey ink to add a little bit of dimension, a little darker yellow color. Honey, when it is applied very intensely, can almost look brown. But the thing I love about this color is the less pressure you put on your blender brush, the lighter the yellow is, and it looks really bright then. So you can go bright all the way down to a deeper brownish yellow. Okay. Final layer is this one, and this is going to add all the little details to the background or within the flowers and centers. And for this one, I am using Mocha. Mocha Plus. We'll call it Mocha Plus, and you'll see what the plus is in just a minute here. It really adds just the right finishing touch to these layers. Still kind of getting over my cough. I feel like I'm always clearing my throat, and
it takes a little time.
It does. So far, I'm thankful our kids have been healthy. Where's the wood? Need to knock on the wood.
That's great.
John and I have both been sick so far, which I feel like maybe is also, we get it out of the way, and then if the kids do get sick, at least we're feeling well enough to care for them.
Yes.
I don't know, those times when you and the kids get sick, those are just rough times.
Right, yes.
You don't want to ask anyone to come help because they're going to get sick, and you just don't feel good, but you got to power through to take care of the littles. So,
do you have any tips for when you're choosing a color combination that maybe you're just not sure about? Are you just someone who just tries it, or do you try to match up cardstock to find?
Yeah, I do take out the cardstock oftentimes. Sometimes I'll actually blend the color because cardstock can be a lot more intense in color than a blended color. So seeing kind of your light to dark transition, how you can build up a blended color, will help me decide whether I like those together. Then I know, do I want a light hand of this color and a heavier hand of this color? So cardstock isn't always a good indication of blended color. So I would almost say I'm more of just a try it and see kind of a person. But if that's not you, then I would suggest blending the color, like light to dark, blend an ombre of one color of ink using a light hand to a dark hand, and then you'll see how the shade changes based on the amount of pressure you're putting on your brush. I did my big reveal, and then I realized I forgot about the plus. So I'm going to put this stencil back down into place because I told you this last layer was Mocha Plus, and it's going to be Mocha plus our Happy Medium Gold Glitter. And this really added the pop that this layer needed. You will be able to see the Mocha behind, so it'll still have a dark effect, but it will have this beautiful gold shimmer over the top. So I'm going to take and just apply that through this layer here. These openings are not very big, so you can probably get away with not a whole lot of medium. You're not using a lot of medium, but you're getting a big bang for your efforts because it just looks so pretty. All right, scraping from top to bottom, making sure I get it inside all of those openings. Move over here. I'll grab a little bit of excess from the top here.
Oh man, it's busy in the studio.
I know, can you hear them? Sounds like they're having fun down there with the Gumdrop today.
Hi, studio friends. I think they typically watch us.
I know, they do
TV.
turn it on. So hi guys, if you're listening, welcome.
If anyone out there has never been to our studio, please come visit us.
Come see us.
We love visitors, and we love having people in and come make a make and take with us.
Summer is an especially great time to come.
Yes!
Okay, so I'm going to make sure I don't drop this back onto the paper and just lift it straight off to avoid smearing any of your pattern. Whitney, I'm going to hand this to you because I think we should probably
soak it,
wash it or soak it so that we're not, yeah. So after you're done, it does dry on the stencil pretty quickly, and so you'll want to wash it off or wet it down, wipe it off so you don't have to really scrub later. So take a look at those gold glitter details on that piece. Isn't that pretty? I'm going to wipe up my area here, let this dry just a little bit, and then I'll probably hit it with my heat tool. I didn't do a panel ahead of time to dry, so we're going to just wing it, try and get by with drying it using the heat tool just to move the process along a little bit more. And the openings aren't very big, so it shouldn't take too long to dry. I wasn't as concerned about a stencil that might have bigger openings that have a lot of paste in them. That would take longer to dry, but I think this one is going to be okay. All right, let's move our blending things out of the way here. And while that dries on its own for now, I'm going to show you how I created the background for this framed piece. Do you see the background in there? I stamped it with half of the stamp from our Up Against a Wall. And because you can see the stamp is quite a bit smaller than this entire piece, so I wanted to show you how it's easy to repeat this stamp. It's one that I love to grab. I love this fun pattern, and it's not a full-size background stamp, but it is easy to find the repeat and stamp it repeatedly on whatever size cardstock you want.
Someone was asking what size frame that is.
Oh, it's a 5x7 frame. So the piece of cardstock that I have here is Gumdrop sized 5x7 to fit in that frame. And we'll pick up that stamp. My first step is going to be to stamp that down onto the grid paper placemat that's inside the MISTI. And that is what's going to allow us to easily align this and move it as we go. So we're just going to stamp that right there. Make sure I get all of the pieces and parts down. Okay, so now we can take this piece of Gumdrop and I am going to line it up all the way to the top of our background stamp. Put that in place here. And I'm going to take a pencil so that when I continue to move and shift this up, I know that I'm staying within these guidelines here. So we're just marking a little bit on each side. Now let's go ahead and stamp that down onto the cardstock. Karen says she's hoping to convince her hubby to stop by the studio when they drive through. And, you know, if you needed like a permission slip or a note from a friend, I could provide that for you to just help convince him that Taylor said I have to stop by.
I love it. Should we make that a downloadable, printable on the TE website?
Yes.
Notes
Yes.
from Taylor.
Taylor said.
Must visit.
Okay, so now we have this stamped one time on our piece of paper. I am going to take and pull this up so that I have my next piece here is aligned with the previous area that was stamped. Does that make sense? So I want to make sure that I'm staying within my guidelines and that this row is lined up with the edges that are stamped off onto the grid paper. So once I have that in place, I'm going to go like this. I know that this row here is going to stamp over the top of this row. So to avoid having any potential, just off slightly, I'm not going to ink this row. I'm only going to ink from here down. So let me take my wipe here. I think it should work to just kind of get rid of the major ink from that top area. And then we'll take our Gumdrop ink. Again, 3 rows down. This is the one that starts stamping, and I want the next one. So I'm going to ink the bottom 4 rows of the stamp. Okay. Then we're going to go ahead and press that down. Didn't quite get that middle part here. Press it hard. There we go. Perfect. You can see that's perfectly lined up. And now we take the paper and I'm going to just mark this up here again so that as I continue to shift up, I'm going to move this right in place with this row. Now I'm getting closer to my background stamp is getting closer to my magnet, so I just want to make sure that that's still not going to interfere there. And we're going to stamp again the bottom 4 rows. So it takes you a few times to stamp this, but I think it's worth it when you have a pattern that you really want to achieve. To have it be repeatable and you have the option to do this is wonderful. Okay, there we go. Now for our last one, let's move it up here, right about here. All right, this time we're going to put our magnet above, or actually we're going to have to use a little bit of tape because I can't put my magnet up here and I can't put it down here. So our last one is going to be these last 2 rows here, and I'm going to wipe my stamp, and then we're going to stamp these last 2, or ink these last 2 rows of the stamp. A mini ink cube would be really nice for that as well. If you have one of those, you can be a little bit more selective. So there we go. We've got that full piece stamped with that background perfectly. Christine asked, any update on the arrival of the Olo Tower? Yes, I did just get some notice that those were going to be shipped in the next couple of weeks. So keep an eye out. If you requested to be notified when those came in stock, you will be the first to know when that inventory arrives and goes up on the website. So it should be this month. Yes, very exciting.
It's my favorite thing. I just keep spinning it. And like, this is so pretty. You're so pretty.
It is. You just tell all the craft supplies how pretty they are.
Look how pretty you are.
I love it. Just speak sweet nothings to them. Okay, I'm going to touch this just a little bit and see. It is not dry, so let me grab my my heat tool. I'm going to hit this with a little bit of heat to hopefully get it dry so that we can trim it apart. Hey, Whit.
Yes.
Can you bring me the guillotine cutter? I think that might be, even if it's not dry, that'll be better. Thank you. Mm-hmm. All right, so I don't bring this one onto camera very often, just it's a little bit bigger, but if you have paste that might not be all the way dry, which I think these still are just a little bit wet, the guillotine cutter will be a little bit better. Actually, maybe that's not true because it has this bar here that is going to require me to push on it. Okay, changing.
Change of plans.
Change of plans. Just gonna go back to
on the fly.
This one. All right. Okay,
Everyone
so
is loving these gorgeous colors.
Aren't they pretty?
Ugh.
I do love them. Okay, so the paper that we have here is 8.5 by 11. We did that so that we could have our alignment squares on the paper that we use to blend. But it makes cutting a little bit more time consuming. I wouldn't say more difficult, just more time consuming. So what we want to do first is cut 1/4 inch off of each side of our panel. So I'm going to start over here and align my paper trimmer so that 1/4 inch is overlapping the blade, and then we're going to cut that off. Then we're going to turn, and another 1/4 inch here is going to come off of this side. And then 1/4 inch off of this side. Okay, and then the final side here. And that is going to give us a piece of cardstock that now measures 8 by 10.5. And that is an important measurement because that's going to give us 4 equal A2 layer panels. So if this is 8, we're going to cut here at 4 inches. And then we have 10.5. So if we cut that in half, oops, I don't need this arm, it's going to be 5 1/4. So we're going to end up with 4 panels that are 4 by 5 1/4 each. All of the artwork has been pre-designed and spaced out for you, so you know if you make your cuts just as I explained, you will have perfectly centered artwork inside the 4 by 5 1/4 panels. And this glitter paste is dry, so it really didn't take long with my heat tool. I was worried it wouldn't be completely dry, but it is. So hooray. Okay, so for our gift bag, we're going to take this piece and we are going to use this one. Just adhered that straight down and onto the front of the gift bag. Then I have my framed, oh, I'm sorry, that was the framed piece, was that one. And then for the gift bag, I adhered this to a piece of Gumdrop cardstock. I'm going to get out my die machine because I want to show you a fun way that you can add texture to these backgrounds. And that is with one of our piercing plates. So I'm going to grab my pierced circles die. And this doesn't actually cut your cardstock apart. It simply pierces to your cardstock. So let me grab my die cut machine. And center that in there. You can tape it if you want to. I'm gonna roll the dice and say I don't need to today. Live on the edge, right?
Love it.
We'll send that through. When we take that off, See if I can get my little spatula tool under there. There, that's helpful. I love that little spatula tool for getting underneath my die cuts. All right, do you see that? See that fun detail? It's almost like quilted toilet paper. But way better. But way more fun. Okay, I'm going to do the same to this panel that we'll be using for the birthday card. Let me flip that one over and send it through. I have some things that I've pre-die cut as well. So after we get through this die cutting, we will be ready to just assemble. All right, there's that one with our quilting in it. Next up, I used our Teeny Cards die set. So this one I do know is out of stock. We do have an order in with the manufacturer, so we will be hopefully getting these back in stock, but they make such a fun little set of note cards. And this is how I was able to make 4 note cards out of one panel. I have my Teeny Cards die set here. It comes with these 2 little squares, which are designed to fit right inside of the Teeny card pieces. And I just took these and kind of arranged them around on my panel to give me the best little 4 squares of blended scenery. So I'll send this through the die cut machine a couple times. I'm kind of trying to position these so that I can see a spot where I'll place the sentiment. So kind of as you're thinking about how to die cut this apart, think about a couple things, like you want some flowers in there, whether they're partial or full flowers. Some of that yellow, it will be pretty on these. And then where are you going to put your little sentiment? So think about those 2 things as you're deciding where to cut these squares. As I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, wow, could I maybe have even gotten 5 out of this? I don't know. I didn't try because I liked a little bit more of the yellow showing through here. Okay, we'll take these off, run these through. All right, so we have these 4 little pieces then that we cut out of that blended panel. I also did this ahead of the live. I used for my sentiments Altogether Occasions. It is 1 stamp with all of the sentiments together on one. And so I stamped it and embossed it in white embossing powder onto Gumdrop cardstock. Then we can take our coordinating die and line it up around those sentiments. We'll pass this through the die cut machine, and then we'll have 8 sentiments to choose from. For my set, I used the Just For You on the gift bag, and then I used the Happy Birthday on the card. All right, I think I'm done with my die cutting now. Let's go ahead and put together the projects. A lot of this is going to be just adhering things together. These little squares I cut at 1 3/4 inch, and we can adhere one of our patterned die cut squares to each of these. I cut them again at 1 3/4 in order to fit perfectly behind my die cut squares and then still leave room on the card. The cardstocks I used for that was pineapple, spearmint, and then honey. And I have a tiny little hello stamp that I picked out of one of our sets that I'll stamp each of these with as well. I'm going to stamp the sentiment in Mocha ink. Want to make sure that I'm avoiding the glitter pasted areas when I'm choosing where to stamp the sentiment. The little hello that I grabbed is from this clear set that's called Beautiful Soul. It's just this one. There's also a couple other good ones in here. I thought hello was the most versatile, but there is a just a note. It's a little bit longer, and I found it a little more difficult to fit into these little spaces. But let's go ahead and stamp our hello. Perfect. 4 little hellos. And our set of little note cards is pretty much done. Now let's finish the card off. It is super simple. We've got Gumdrop card base, panel. I will adhere that. This is the one that we die cut with the circles piercing plate. And then this is cut from our A2 thin frame cutting plate. And actually I used sweet corn cardstock. Oddly, I thought that color was something I liked a little bit better than the pineapple or the Dijon or honey. I looked at all of them and I chose something different than any of the ink colors that we used. I gotta get it perfectly positioned. There we go. Hold on to both sides. Okay, and then let's pop out that happy birthday sentiment. We'll put a little bit of foam tape on the back. I have lost my scissors in my tornado of supplies here.
Uh-oh. Mayday. Do we need a new one?
Maybe, unless you see it.
Sure. I'll grab them.
I don't see it. It's probably sitting right in front of me, but, or maybe I never had one, because now I still can't find it. Thank you. Quick little happy birthday in the center here. Popped up on a piece of foam. Right like that. Perfect. Okay, let me bring in the whole set again of finished projects. The rest of the things that I have are just kind of gluing this all together. Let me bring in my finished note cards. There we go. I'm sure my second set doesn't look quite exactly the same as this one, which is fun. You can kind of play around with how you want to arrange your die cuts. And there's my frame. There we go. We have our whole little birthday gift set. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Let me come back to you and just say a quick farewell, and also remind you again that Heather is going to be back on Thursday. She's going to have another fun project featuring Gumdrop, and so you'll want to mark your calendar, tune in for that at 10 a.m. on Thursday. I will be back next week on Tuesday. So